Wow, I like that. That was nice.
Yeah, I do. I try my best to get good videos, beginning videos, or intro videos, and get music, But that being said, welcome back. We took a 2 week break. Yes, we have lives outside of doing this YouTube show that we do hopefully every Saturday or Sunday. I make my cousin over here, Momo Comics, come on with me. He signed a contract when he was a little kid, and it came due now. He's doing these videos with me, which I appreciate, man.
Yeah, no, I mean this is fun. I mean, I this is like us hanging out, which is cool because we don't live by each other and we don't see each other too often, and so this
No,
kind of has been
yeah,
filling that gap that
yes.
we've had and or that void in our lives of not hanging out
That's
in
true,
person.
man. If you can't tell, I'm about 20 years older than Momo here. So when he was born, I was already in my 20s, enjoying life, But he's my favorite cousin. There, I said it. It's official
Uh,
now. It's on YouTube. I can't take it back. You are my favorite cousin. So,
all right, I bet you say that to all your cousins.
but it's on YouTube. So this is video. You have proof for years and
Like,
years to come.
I'm gonna like look,
Look,
Look, Yolanda.
yeah. So, but this is Up on Comics, where myself and Momo Comics 80, we talk about recent comic book entertainment, any type of news that we find interesting in the last week. Last week, you may hear my dog barking. Last week, I was at LA Comic Con, and last week, Rob was at Disneyland. So we're going to talk about that at the very beginning, and then we'll talk about other topics after that. You ready to go?
Yeah, man.
All right, let's bring the slides up first. This is called a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Basically, like I just said, we talk about certain topics that happened within the last week. And Rob, you are up first. You went to Disneyland with your family, my friend. How'd it go?
It was actually great. Uh, I was worried it was going to be crowded because it's October and Oogie Boogie nights.
Yeah.
They're happening. We only did one park,
Okay.
and because we were there on a Oogie Boogie night, we went to Disneyland. Uh, and we got there like at 8:30 a.m. and there were like no crowds. Like the
Okay.
lines, like Indiana Jones was 40 minutes. I think that was the longest wait that we waited for. But Mickey and Minnie Railroad, we went right in it. Roger Rabbit, right in it. Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, went right on it. Matterhorn, I think it was 15 minutes.
Wow.
Uh, and oh yeah. By the end of the day, I think we ended up hitting 13 rides.
Dang.
Yeah, no, man. And so what happened though, at like 7 o'clock, it got packed.
At night.
Yeah, and so my wife and I were talking about it, and we're like, okay, we are now probably getting all the overflow from California Adventure, where Oogie Boogie Nights, Oogie Boogie Party, I think it's called the party, right?
Yeah.
Because they kick people out.
Yes.
If you don't have that badge, that ticket for the event, they were people were leaving, I guess at 6, and they must have just all came over to Disneyland because they had nowhere else to go. And so at that point at night, the line started getting like a lot longer to do some stuff.
Okay.
But still, we thought we had a great time. The fireworks show that they have was awesome. They basically do overlays all throughout Main Street. And so like if you see the pic right in front of us, at one point they had Ursula on the castle and
Yes.
all her tentacles were going all the way down Main Street. Like
Oh, wow.
it was pretty awesome. We did Haunted Mansion. They were closed for such a long time, and we talked about this at the last video that you and I had. And yeah, more or less it's the same ride. It's
Oh, just
there's a but Janine's like, oh, that's a new robot, or that's a new. There were a lot of scary teddies on it, and I think that was to complement also the scary teddy popcorn bucket. I don't know if you've heard about this. It's from The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's kind of like a vampire teddy bear
okay.
that was in The Nightmare Before Christmas, is like one of the presents, I think, if I remember correctly. But they turned it into a popcorn bucket, and on the ride, it was just all over the place. You could see it like in different areas, like,
Hmm.
oh, there's another scary teddy. There's another scary teddy.
Okay.
There's another scary teddy. And we did get one, and it's downstairs right now with Clara. Otherwise, I'd show you. She has a company over, and so they're kind of messing around with it.
Yeah. So go back to that Ursula part. This was during the fireworks. Her tentacles were there, or during the day?
It was during the fireworks show. So you know how I don't know if do you remember when we went to Star Wars night and
Yeah.
every now and then it would be like Jedi or Sith and they
Yeah.
would lights covering all the buildings on Main Street.
Okay.
That's what they were doing is all throughout Main Street, like at different parts of the fireworks show, things would happen. And so one
Hmm.
particular moment, Ursula was on the castle, like what you see in front of us, and then her tentacles would be the overlay throughout the Main Street buildings.
Not the street itself, just the buildings.
The buildings, yeah,
Okay.
because the streets were just filled with
Yeah.
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, but the buildings, like you're just surrounded from both sides, like, whoa, tentacles or whatever else they were
Yeah.
projecting at the moment on the buildings. It was pretty cool. Like I do like the fireworks. I love World of Color at California Adventures.
Yeah.
But it's a long day, man.
Yeah.
And I at the end of the day, I was tired.
I am so surprised that on a weekend, on a Sunday, that you guys got on so many rides, because usually it's so packed on the weekends. That when you just said that, I went, wow. Because I was there a couple weeks ago with my daughter, and we did we stayed for the fireworks thing too, but we didn't get there till about 11-ish, because
Mhm.
we have the SoCal pass, and we just go on a regular basis. So we didn't want to get there early. Says, yeah, we're always going there, it seems like. But you guys got into so many rides, and I always thought that weekends were just so packed it wasn't even worth going. But I'm good. That's happy for you guys.
No, I think we got lucky.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe it was a Sunday, kind of a random Sunday.
yeah,
But yeah, it was we definitely got our money's worth with the rides. Uh they're gonna do Christmas stuff pretty soon and things
yes,
will change. Like the fireworks show will change. They usually do snow, like fake snow,
yeah.
during the fireworks show at night. And then obviously everything's like holiday uh themed. But that won't be till November and it's gonna be packed because Tiana's Bayou November 15th. So like I'm sure the park's gonna be heavy duty packed.
So we're going November 1st. And we got the we got the Imagine Key, which is for SoCal, residents, and we're going November 1st. But I think they're not going to have any Christmas trees light, any Christmas decorations up quite yet. But I found out on Instagram that people who have the Imagine Key or any type of key will able to go on the Tiana ride. They're going to open it up for people who have the keys.
Oh wow. So
Yeah,
do you think you might be able to get on there?
yeah, because they're gonna, how they have the virtual queue.
Yeah.
They're telling me about at 7 o'clock and 12 o'clock, you have to log in. They're going to have that for Tiana's ride on certain dates, and November 1st is one of them. And like I said, we're not going to get there till after 11, but the virtual queue opens up at 12, but only people who have the keys, so we're going to try to go on it that day.
Well, so you are right. I just looked it up. It's so the first holiday official opening, like the decor and everything,
Yeah.
is actually the same day as Tiana's grand opening, November
Oh,
15th.
okay.
Uh and then also that virtual queue for Haunted Mansion, like what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I actually liked it.
Me too.
I was like, we walked
I agree.
straight into the ride. It was
Yep.
not a line. It was like
I
you're
agree.
up. We walked in, went on the ride. It was pretty sweet.
I agree. I went on it. We got the virtual queue. My phone buzzed. I said, okay, let's go. So,
And they
we just went.
and here's something else, and I don't know if you knew of this. So we were late. And the reason why we were late is because our daughter, Clara, she did the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Oh my gosh, dude. So I'll get back to that in a minute. But basically, when our buzzer went off, or I got the text notification, I'm sorry, she was still getting her makeup done. And so I went to them and I'm like, hey, we have this pass, but she's busy. I go, can we come in later? And the guy's like, anytime after your time, you can come in.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, that's good to know. So that way you're not like scrambling, even because you normally get like an hour window.
Yep.
He's like, no, he's like, it's no big deal. Just come, just show it to us and you're good to go.
Nice. So overall, from 1 through 10, How was your day at Disneyland?
Oh, so I'm not gonna give it a 10
Okay.
because one of Eric, our oldest son, wasn't there.
Okay.
You weren't there.
I wasn't there.
Grandpa wasn't there. But I mean, that aside, I'm gonna say it was a 9.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a really good day. Like I mentioned, Claire did the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which you age out of it at 12, and she's 11.
I was wondering about that, you know.
Yeah, 12 is the max, and Janine, her mother was like, "We're gonna do it. They have an opening. Let's do it." And I'm like, "God bless. I'm not paying for it, but you do, you do you."
Yeah.
And yeah, they had a good time doing that. So she was walking around like decked out as Belle, like, and she was getting compliments from strangers left and right. Like
Right.
she had a really good time.
That's awesome. Yeah, just tell her this is it, man. You're not going to make the cutoff after this year, basically.
Well, you know what? I mean, she doesn't turn 12 until
Oh, next year.
July.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, and then because you could be 12,
Yeah. Oh,
so
okay.
so she could technically wait till she's about to turn 13
Yeah.
and do it again. So she has up to 2 more years.
I don't want to tell you, you don't have to say, but over 100?
Oh yeah.
Okay. We'll talk. Well, I'll ask you how much it costs afterwards, after we're done with the video for today. You know.
Yeah. No, she got a big package because it was like she got a manicure.
Oh, wow. So anything else about
Yeah,
Disneyland
like
you want to bring up, or are we all done with that?
I think we're good. You know, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique was awesome.
Yeah.
The rides were great.
Awesome,
You
man.
know, and yeah, we had a good time.
Right on, man. The
But
happiest
I
and most
miss
expensive place on
I
earth. You know.
Yeah, right? But, you know, what's funny, so I was at Disneyland, and then you weren't too far away at LA Comic Con.
Yes, LA Comic Con, and let's get on with it. LA Comic Con was last week. I went Saturday. I didn't take any pictures except for 2, and I just wanted
What?
to. I just didn't feel like taking pictures. You
You're
know, I
like,
was
"I'm
walking
living in the
around.
moment."
I was just living in the moment, having a good time. It was crowded. You know, I got there a little bit after it opened. I had to find parking.
Maybe that's why Disneyland wasn't crowded. Everybody was
Maybe,
at LA Comic Con.
you know, I had a good time walking around, checking out all the vendors there. You know, there's a lot more comic book vendors than there is at San Diego Comic Con, that's for sure. There were some panels going on, but LA Comic Con, the convention center, all their main panels was in the main floor of the convention center. So you don't have to go to a certain room. That's where they had the main panels there. And everybody was just standing up, you know, for them. And I've seen some of the Star Wars panels there. Everybody was cheering, you know. So I go, man, if San Diego Comic Con could do something like that, you know, but I don't. This convention center is a lot bigger than San Diego Comic Con convention.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, so that's why they probably can do it. They have, and you know, they just have like a main stage on the convention floor, which, you know, all the main, you know, actors and actresses and whomever was there. That the one I went to had Ming Hua from Star Wars, and that guy's name I forgot. He was in Mandalorian. He played the bad guy. He was in Breaking Bad. I'm trying to blank on the actor's name. But you know what I'm talking about.
Giancarlo.
Yeah, Giancarlo. Yep, he was there, and some other actors and actresses from Star Wars. So it was a good panel. I hung out for that. The rest of the day, I was just walking around, checking out all the vendors. Said hi to a couple of artists. You know, they were there in Artist Alley, who have had interviewed on my show before. And that convention center is huge, but they had a whole different area, like for anime and video games. You know, separate from. It's part of the convention center, but it was like in a different wing. And they had like a place for they had the cast of Back to the Future was there, and Ewan McGregor from Star Wars was there. They had some other Star Wars actors, you know, were taking, you know, photo shots with the public. You know, they had, but there was like it was separated from the main part of the convention center. It's like in between the anime and where the main convention center was. But it was fun. But I wanted to show you 2 slides. And one was from CGC and one was from CBCS. I'm gonna show you the slides in a minute. And people, you know, I was going Instagram, the latest, you know, faux pas from CGC, you know, what they've done now, you know, all their errors, all their blunders, but people keep on going to them. The one on the left-hand side was CGC. You see, it's more crowded. It's a long table. Okay. and the one on the right was this one little table that CBCS had. And every time I walked by, the scene was almost always the same. One or two people at CBCS, and the whole CGC was constantly rotating. It was always crowded. So no matter what CGC does, and I was one of them, I dropped off 3 books. They're always going to have people are always going to go to them, no matter what they do. It seems, they're almost like, Teflon proof. You anything that happens to them, it just bounces off of them. People
they got that. They have that brand recognition for sure.
For sure. I mean, it was like this the whole time. And on the right-hand side, you can't see it. That's where people were just logging in for, they had to print out their sheets who've done it at home like I had. But they were like this basically the whole time. And every time I walked by it at least 3 or 4 times, it was the exact same amount of people or more. And every time I walked by CBCS, 1 or 2 people at the most. And that was it.
You would think their turnaround times would be faster.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But I didn't. I went, wow. I mean, they were working, but I've seen them, taping up boxes to send back. But just compared to CGC, there's just no comparison. Once PSA gets in the game, I don't know how much of a dent it's going to make. To be honest with you.
Well, PSA does have brand recognition from their other, and so
that's very true. Yeah.
I'm curious to see. I did when we saw the cases at Comic-Con for PSA.
Yeah,
I liked them.
Me too.
I would definitely be open to giving them a shot.
No, I am too.
So, but yeah, I wonder how the public's going to receive them because CGC, you're right, they have the foothold, right? Yeah. So, wow, that's crazy.
My friend told me that PSA was looking for employees. And I sent in an email to them to work for them, but I got denied. So I just did it as a whim to see if they replied, no, we're not looking for anybody right now at this time where you're at, okay, whatever. They wanted a grader and somebody who presses. So I go, that's right up my alley. So, but I applied and I got denied. But
yeah, maybe at their main location. I don't know.
They're based in California.
Where at? Do you know?
Up Southern California by the LA area. I don't know exactly, but I know it's in Southern California. But yeah, I applied and I got denied. But on to our next slide. And these are, like I said, this is information or, articles that I've seen from the last week. And I was surprised by this. Absolute Batman sold out. Absolute Batman #1, a sellout across comic book stores. I haven't read Absolute Batman. It's by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta. But yesterday it was a sellout across comic book stores. And so it seems to be a hit. And I'm sure it's going to go to 2nd and 3rd and probably 4th print. Absolute Batman had 250,000 copies ordered and a 2nd printing is on the way. There you go. But it still isn't enough. So yeah, it looks like it's been a hit. And I heard the storyline has been really good. I haven't read it. I just got turned off by the pictures of Batman. He looked like Bane a little bit too much to me, too bulky. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But like I said, I haven't read it yet. This is just my, first opinions of it. And hopefully people have been saying it's a good storyline. So we'll see.
Yeah, Snyder, I mean, he did Batman for a long time and people loved his stuff. So, it sounds like a pretty good team. Dragotta's art is pretty iconic. Like there's a style that's recognizable. Because did he do East West, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, he has so he has a following too.
The thing is, without Batman, I don't know where DC would be. He's like their main character for sure. But there's going to be an absolute Wonder Woman. There's going to be an absolute Superman. See if those are as popular as Absolute Batman. I mean, they knew they had to start off with Batman.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know if his regular series or his regular books are still available. So I'm not exactly sure what the storyline is exactly. Like I said, I haven't even read the first issue yet. So but we'll see.
It might be worth checking out.
Worth checking out. And so this was interesting. J. Michael Straczynski smashes the Marvel Universe together in 2025. He's telling Marvel stories with Will Robinson, Bernard Chang, and other creators. It's supposed to returns to Marvel for a new. They're going to be team ups, and the first one's in 2025 Marvel icons face off in creative pairings like Rocket Raccoon and Doctor Doom. And here's some more right here. The one on the right, it says Captain America and Volstagg from the Asgardians, and Nick Fury versus Fin Fang Foom. I heard there's going to be a Aunt May and Agatha Harkness team up. So
Sure.
I know they're team ups that have never happened before, so to speak. So we'll see how the storylines go. And this is coming out next year, but they're already, obviously trying to bring some interest on it. So we'll see. The Doctor Doom and Rocket Raccoon one seems interesting. So,
yeah. Well, Straczynski, he did the Supreme universe. Remember that?
Okay.
Not Supreme. What was it?
For Marvel?
He did a universe. It wasn't Supreme. I'm sorry. I'm getting my heroes. He did an offshoot of the Marvel of like some Marvel characters. I forget what it was.
Not the
my gosh.
Universe. No, it's not the Ultimate Universe, right?
No. Was it like Supreme Power? I think it was that.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. That it was a group of heroes.
Yeah. No, it was Supreme Power. I just looked it up. And, and there was like Nighthawk, and it was pretty cool and interesting. But yeah, it was Straczynski, and he does some interesting things there. And then he also did Spider-Man for a bit, right?
He did. I think he was the writer who broke up Mary Jane and Peter Parker.
Yeah. So I mean, like
Mephisto and all that stuff, which I didn't like at all. To this day, I didn't like that at all.
He's done some interesting things, I will say. Yeah. So like this could be interesting. The branding also looks very different.
Yeah.
Like look at the covers, like it's like they're definitely wanting to keep it, in its own form.
So. Yeah, the covers are unique and it makes it stick out more. Usually the ones are not that big. The title, there's like a banner going right across the top of the book.
Right.
See. So yeah, we'll see how these books turn out. I'll probably read issues number 1 of each one and see if I like them or not. And on to the next slide. I just like these covers. I mean, the one on the right is by Alex Ross. It's a spring issue. I think it's coming out pretty soon. I think he just posted on one of his social media pages. I think it's pretty cool looking. It's Batman and Robin. And on the left-hand side, I think you can already order this book. It's through DC. I think the next page talks a little bit more about it. Oh, no, it doesn't. Sorry. This is the homage to the very first Superman book, but it has him basically, look at, he's going to smash the Mystery Machine with Shaggy and Scooby, and you see Batman on top. There's a crossover event, and I thought I had it down, but I don't have my other iPad here with me. I was going to talk all about it, but there's some kind of crossover event that's going on with Superman, DC, and other cartoon characters. I thought it was a pretty cool looking cover.
Yeah, I see Steven Universe right there running away. So yeah, that's a mix up.
Yeah, it's a mix up. So I thought it was a cool looking cover. I may buy that one. And so there's been some announcements with there's going to be a new Green Lantern show on HBO, and they've announced 2 of the characters. Aaron Pierre cast as John Stewart, and Kyle Chandler set to star as Hal Jordan in the DC series for HBO. So it's just in probably pre-production, but they're already starting to fill the cast members. So hopefully it's a good series. I know I'll be watching it.
Yeah, no, and from what they presented it as, like it sounds interesting with all the different lanterns.
Yeah.
Kyle Chandler, though, like I'm kind of surprised because he's older.
He's older, yes.
Yeah, I mean he's 59.
Yeah.
I thought they would have casted younger for Hal, but okay.
I forgot. I don't know much about the Green Lanterns, but I know there was a Silver Age Green Lantern who was a little bit older, and he had like a different looking outfit or uniform on. I thought they would have cast him as that character, but who knows? We'll see. Hopefully it's a good series. And so this movie basically is Freaky Friday and is coming back. The first one was like decades ago. So this is the long-awaited Freaky Friday sequel. Finally has a release date. Disney has announced Freakier Friday will be released in theaters on August 8th, 2025, starring Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. I honestly thought this would be on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it was over 20 years ago.
Over 20 years ago.
2000, yeah. I just pulled it up.
Okay.
2003.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like when Eric, my oldest son, like a year after he was born.
Did Clara ever see the original one?
Yeah. I mean, we like the original one,
Yeah,
and because they've, Freaky Friday is kind of a redone storyline in other movies too.
sure.
But
Yeah.
okay, my first thought when you pop this image on, they're old. Like,
Yes.
oh, Jamie Lee Curtis, man, like she's definitely someone's grandma.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she
So
may not want to switch back. She's
yeah, I know. And
that's
Lindsay
gonna be the
Lohan,
plot.
Lindsay Lohan's at least in her late 30s or early 40s, somewhere on there.
Yeah, the plot's gonna be Jamie Lee Curtis's character is like, nah, you're not getting this back.
Yeah, I don't blame her. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I may wait till it comes on Disney Plus. But I don't. I have to watch the original too to get an idea what's it about. Well, I know what it's about, but it's been like you said, 2003. That's a long time, man.
It's a long time.
So this is coming out on August 8th, 2025. Next up, Henry Cavill has been cast as in the live-action Voltron movie. It's set to star in Amazon MGM Studios live-action Voltron movie directed by Rawson Marshall Thurber. Cavill will lead alongside newcomer Daniel Quinn Toy, who impressed the team with his West End performance. So, Voltron is based on the Japanese anime Beast King, Go Lion, and Kiku Kintai Dre Rugger XV, which became the 1980s hit Voltron Defender of the Universe. I have never, ever seen a Voltron show.
Really?
Ever.
Oh man, yeah. Like when I was little, Nancy, my sister, actually was really into it.
Okay.
And so we would watch it together. It's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like very similar, like there's these machines, they form the leg, the body, the arms, turns into a giant battle robot. But yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. But yeah, I want to say it was definitely out in the 80s. I probably before that.
I thought this was I didn't know anything about it. I thought it was like another Transformers movie until I read the article a little bit more. So, but yeah, hopefully it'll be good.
I bet it will draw out fans, like
Yeah.
for sure. Like it's gonna be, yeah, people will come out to see this one. Yeah, the series, 1984.
Wow.
And it has a total of 124 episodes.
Dang.
Yeah.
Nancy's probably going to want to go see this.
Yeah. Oh no, she definitely will.
All right, next one up. These are two, just like I said, I'm pulling them up from this week. Spider-Man 4 is planned to be a cosmic level event that will likely feature multiple symbiotes and the return of Toby and Andrew's Spider-Man. Nice. I thought that's pretty cool. I'll be looking forward to that. And the next one, Captain Marvel will be a main character in Avengers Doomsday. And also people were, pushing against this. But Captain Marvel in the Marvel comic books, she's one of the strongest characters around. It just makes sense for her to be in these movies, whether people like the actress or not. It doesn't say she's going to be the whole point of the movie, but she's going to be a main character of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, fanboys.
Yeah.
And we're fanboys too, but we also know how fanboys can destroy fandoms as well. So, let's see.
Yeah, let's see. Give it a try. I remember back when the first Batman came out, when Michael Keaton was set to be Batman, people were complaining left and right, but he wasn't known for any superheroes. He was more like comedic movies, and he did a fantastic job. I think the plot will be fine. Hopefully, knock on wood for Avengers Doomsday. There's going to be plenty of other characters in this movie. She just happens to be one of the main ones. And of course, to me, it's big thumbs up for Toby and Andrew coming back for Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to see that. Yeah. Next up, Venom: The Last Dance has 2 post-credit scenes, so don't leave. Anybody who watches those movies, I still see people when it comes to Marvel movies at the end leave. I still see it to this day when I go to see a Marvel movie. I go, God, these people never seen a Marvel before? I mean, that shtick has been going on for over 10 years and people still leave. I don't get it. I feel like yelling out, hey, there's an ending. There's another credit scene coming up, don't you? But I still see people leave.
Maybe they got to pee.
maybe. But I'm gonna see this movie. I know people haven't liked this series Venom movies, especially the second one. They've been entertaining for me, and I gotta see how it ends with him. But this should be the last standalone Venom movie. But hopefully, look, he's gonna be popping up somewhere else. I think in a Marvel movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. I'm kind of in it at this point.
Yeah,
And they're not great. They're
No.
entertaining. I
Yeah.
kind of take it for what they are. But yeah, not on the same level as like the Spider-Man from the MCU movies. So but I am curious. I want to see how it ends.
I know Sony has their own Sony Spider-Man universe. They call it SSU, I believe. I just don't understand why they don't ask Marvel for some assistance like they do with the Spider-Man movies. So they just have to, they've been struggling with all their movies. And the next one, I know the Craven's coming out. I'm not sure when.
That looks bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I've read somewhere that anytime Marvel creates new Spider-Man characters, they belong to Sony automatically. Like Miles, he's part of the, he's showing up on Sony. I think, who knows what's going to happen to Miles, the other Spider-Man, because if Sony has the rights to him, are they going to do the same collaboration with Marvel? Well, we'll see. I would, Sony, if you're hearing this. So,
yeah.
Let me see what else here. Have you ever seen the show Reacher?
Man, it's on my list. Lucas,
it's great.
Yeah, Lucas says it's good.
It's good.
Yeah, Lucas is our other son, and he watches the show every now and then. He's like, "Oh no, it's pretty good." I've seen the movies.
Yes.
With Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah. But it's on my list. I don't get to control the TV too much in our house anymore. But yeah.
If you have a chance, watch seasons 1 and 2 came out. He's a good character. I know the actor's first name is Alan. I'm drawing a blank on his second name, but he's so tall and big. You take a look at him compared to Tom Cruise. I mean, this guy could be like he gave out hints that he wanted to be Batman in a future movie. He gave out, say, hey, I want to.
Yeah, I've seen people do like fan pictures of him as Batman. I've also seen a fan one done of him as Beast.
Oh wow, yeah.
For X-Men, and I'm like, oh, that might work. He has that big build.
He's a big guy. He was on the TV show Titans. He played. It was Hawk and Dove. I forgot who. I think he was Hawk. Yeah, he was Hawk in the Titans show. But they killed off his character. But he's a good actor. It's a good series. They're gonna have a spin-off too from one of the characters that was on seasons 1 and 2. So season 3 hasn't come out yet, and it's already been picked up for season 4.
All right. I'll give that one a shot.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it, man. Just a guy. He was in the military, and now he's basically. Well, I don't know. I've never seen the movies, but in the TV show, he's basically just roams the country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is in the movie too. And then he has these encounters and comes and helps people.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, I highly recommend this show. And what we have next year, these are all the Marvel movies and TV shows releasing in 2025. First one is Captain America: Brave New World on February 14th, and we have Daredevil in March of next year. Then Thunderbolts May 2nd, and Fantastic Four July 25th. It looks like it's probably right during Comic-Con of next year.
Yeah.
And Blade, if they say so, November. And then we have Ironheart in 2025. And the last one is Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. That should be the animated movie then.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I haven't heard anything about that though.
So in this list,
okay,
which one are you looking forward to the most? Which one are you least excited about?
Gosh. Dang it. I want to do Fantastic Four, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to would be Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. The first 2 movies of that were so well done. And I can't wait to see that. It's probably going to be the final chapter or the final movie of that one. My second one would probably be the Fantastic Four, with Daredevil a close third.
So what's the least, like the one you're least excited for?
Let me see. Probably Thunderbolts. And that doesn't mean it's going to be bad. It's just my opinion of all of them that are coming on again. Thunderbolts probably be the last, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed with Blade. The actor is so brilliant. I forgot his name. His first name is Ali, and I think he won the Academy Award a couple years ago. It's a really great actor. So I hope they do that well. You know.
Yeah, Blade, I think on paper should be like an easy, like knock it out of the park kind of movie. They did it with Wesley Snipes back in the day before the MCU. So you would think like an updated MCU Blade would be pretty easy to figure out, but yeah, I've heard they had a lot of problems with the script.
Yeah.
So hopefully that one comes out well.
What they got to do is get Wesley Snipes in the movie and him to pass the blade, so to speak, onto the new Blade somehow. I think it'd be fitting because he was great in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. They brought back Blade. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that was a nice Easter egg for sure.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna turn the tables on you. Which one do you want to see the most?
You know what? I actually I'm gonna say Spider-Man.
Yeah.
My second though would be Blade. But because I really liked the first Blade franchise. Even the bad ones I thought were cool. But I like horror movies.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a fun action horror movie. Except the third one, Blade Trinity, was a little too silly. But yeah, I best wishes for it, I guess. And as far as least, probably Ironheart.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't a fan of the character in Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
And it was more so just that was like her character storyline, I think, was problematic. But maybe the story will be better. And if it's better, then I'm all for it.
2 observations from this list. One, there's a lot less movies and TV shows that are coming out. I think Marvel's saying, wait a minute, we got to reboot, so to speak. And 2, there's still no X-Men movie.
Oh, yeah. Good observation.
There's no X-Men movie. I mean, there was a mutant that showed up in there was more than one in Deadpool, obviously, and Wolverine, but there's no X-Men movie yet, so you can see, they're slowing down and saying we got to rein it back in and do this right.
Well, we did see Beast in the Marvels. That was
Gambit.
Cool.
Oh, that's right. Oh, he was in the Marvels. That's right. And
yeah.
Gambit was in Deadpool. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Next up here. I thought this was so funny. I didn't know that. This is on Instagram. If you didn't know already that Godzilla has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you do now. You're welcome. Somebody posted this on Instagram and went, what? Because I know they just did. I think they did Batman recently.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. And then I did look it up about the how much a star costs.
Okay.
Because there is a cost to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I could bring it back up, but I guess they're saying it's like for maintenance. You have to provide a sponsorship fee of $75,000.
But who has to provide it? The actor who's in
the actor, or so it could be the actor, or it could be like the fans. Mm-hmm. But basically, someone has to sponsor. That's what they call it. You have to sponsor the star, and it covers security. I mean, because you go down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, like there's some interesting people there.
Sure.
So security makes sense. Maintenance of the star. But yeah, $75,000. It's a lot of money.
Yeah. But I wonder who does it for Godzilla. It must be the studio, whoever owns the rights to Godzilla.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe they got a Godzilla fan club. Maybe they asked everybody to chip in.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more than 75,000 fans of Godzilla there. So I just thought it was pretty.
Yeah,
it looks like there's probably more than 75,000 fans, for each star there. I just found it pretty interesting, So they have to upkeep it every year. 75,000 per star, right?
So yeah, you got to submit a $250 application, and then a separate sponsorship fee of $75,000
a year.
Let me go to the FAQ, but I believe 75. Yeah, it says here $75,000 after selection. The money is used to pay for the creation and installation of the star, as well as maintenance of the Walk of Fame. Price is subject to change. So I don't know if it's a
Huh.
one-time thing. Maybe it is a yearly thing. I have no clue.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Buy me a star.
Yeah.
And we'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah, they come after me every year for $75,000. And never mind. You can take
Never
it.
mind.
Never mind. Let me see what else here. So I know we talked about the show on the left last time, but it finally started the new season. It's only 6 episodes long. The first two episodes have already come by. And what I like about it, I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, is that they're in another country. It almost seems like it's all brand new, and just how this country is dealing with walkers, and the Walking Dead there. He's in France right now, and his season 2 came out a couple weeks ago, and Carol actually goes looking for him. She finds a guy to take her on a plane ride across the world, basically to Europe and to France. And yeah, that's where it's at right now. It's very interesting. I mean, I really like it. And another thing that I like, it's only 6 episodes long. Yeah. So season 2 is already on. It's already almost halfway through. Tomorrow is going to be episode 3 already. So it's been entertaining, So they had these zombies or Walking Dead that Carol was shooting some that were walking, and all of a sudden some of them were part of the grassy field. They just came up and attacked her. I thought it was pretty different. They were like part of the landscape, and damn, they just came up and tried to bite her. The one on the right, I started watching a lot of documentaries on Netflix. I got big time into World War II. And this one is Wyatt Earp and the Cowboy Wars. It's on Netflix. It's like a documentary. It's done by the moderator is Ed Harris, the actor. It's pretty interesting. I had no idea what happened.
It's a documentary?
Yeah, it's a documentary.
It looks like a miniseries.
It does, but
the poster.
Yeah, it does, but it just it's all documented on facts. I know they embellish it probably somewhat, but it's a show. But Ed Harris does the voiceovers, and he says everything that happened during this war, the Cowboy War. The gunfight at the OK Corral only lasted like about 30 seconds, and that was it. This was like, and I just found it very interesting. It's also about 6 to 8 episodes long. I just finished it. I thought it was very entertaining. Just delves into their lives a lot deeper. Wyatt Earp lived until his 80s. And I didn't know that. And he was like a producer in Hollywood in his later stage of his life when they started doing cowboy movies. They had him on as like an executive, making sure everything was right, according to that era. And Doc Holliday, he died when he was 36 years old of tuberculosis. Damn, he died young, man. So it's a really good series. I recommend it. And I think it's only about 6 or 8 episodes long. It's Wyatt Earp and the Cowboy War.
Wow. Yeah, that's I didn't know that.
That's pretty cool.
Living till he's 80 years old back then, that was a big deal.
That was a big deal, And I go, wow, man, so much happened, which I was oblivious to the OK Corral, the gunfight at the OK Corral. You hear about it, obviously, so famous, but it really reshaped America. I highly recommend watching this show. Very entertaining. But it doesn't look like a documentary the way they put the poster up there.
No, not at all, man.
And so you wanted this was your choice. Well, mine too, but Rob, the Penguin, how many episodes have you seen?
I'm caught up.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it's good, dude. It is the Sopranos of DC. And yeah, it's definitely, I mean, I'm not watching a lot of things right now, but this is really good. If you haven't seen it, check it out. If you like the Sopranos, you're gonna like this show. If you're into Batman, you're gonna like the show. Batman's not in it, at least not yet, but you don't need him for this show. Like the stuff that's going on, if it wasn't called The Penguin, it would still be an excellent show to watch. So the acting's great, the character development's great. I'm enjoying it a lot.
I've seen episode 1 and I loved it. They kind of humanized the Penguin, like so there was this one scene where he takes off his boot and you see his feet were really all gnarled, you learn why he walks that way, he's got a limp. And I do like that they mentioned Batman basically in the first episode, so it's in his universe. They didn't show the character, but they mentioned the Batman. The opening sequence is basically the end of the Batman movies, explaining what happened in that movie with the Riddler and everything like that. But I have enjoyed it. But I said I've only seen the first episode. But yeah, it's caught my attention, and I'm going to be watching this for sure. The remaining
Yeah,
season.
no, he's definitely a bad guy. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and if you like those anti-hero, like the
Nah.
villain is the star of the show, this one's right up your alley. It's a good
Yeah.
crime mobster show.
Yep.
For sure.
I really enjoyed it. The one on the right, this show debuted a couple of years ago. It was on Nickelodeon, the Star Trek Prodigy. When I heard it was coming out, I go, "Oh my god, a kids show for Star Trek!" I love it. It's so freaking good. You know, if they say it's a kid show, then I'm a kid. You know, because I thought, wow, this is a good show. It's like these band of misfits who are basically on a planet where they have to work, you know, child labor, basically, you know, and they escape, and then they find an abandoned starship, and they take off from there. And Kate Mulgrew is like the holographic captain on the ship. And it was a really good series. Season 1, season 2, I just finished watching it. They brought back again Kate Mulgrew, and they brought back Will Wheaton, Robert Picardo, and the Dr. Robert Burtham, if I'm pronouncing their names right. Season 2 just ended. I go, boy, this is a good series. They kind of tied up Will Wheaton's character because, you know, he was one of those explorers. I forgot what the character was called, traveler. Where he goes to, you know, he's able to see the future and, you know, help out people. So he helps out these kids. And he, you know, his mother was Beverly Crusher, the doctor, and she had not seen him like for about at least 10 or 15 years because he's been doing his own thing. And at the end of the last episode, and there's 20 episodes for each season, they reunite. I thought it was very nice that the way they did that, you know.
You say you're not a kid, but behind you have Rupert Teddy Bear.
I just really enjoyed this series. I highly recommend it. I go, boy, this is, especially season 2. I'm going, this is a kid supposed to be for kids. I'm like, dang, man, it got me hooked. You know,
Oh,
so
yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe this is for those Star Trek fans.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I like the way they brought back actors from previous series. You know, and they brought into the Star Trek universe. You know, so it was pretty cool. And let me see, what else do I have here? So I found this interesting. It says Deadpool and Wolverine breaks more records. Highest selling R-rated movie on US digital in the first week. That's crazy. I mean, the way this movie is just bringing in the money, you know, but now it's just a digital release. The DVD Blu-rays coming in a couple weeks. But I mean, this movie just, you know, they knew what they were doing. Hopefully they'll carry this momentum forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of people though are more used to waiting for digital releases and paying for them.
Yeah.
Like if the theater industry as a whole is still struggling. Like people don't go to the movies anymore.
Yeah.
And they'll just wait. They rather pay the $25-$30 for a digital copy and they get to keep it, you know, forever. So you know, and that's cheaper. You know, you can easily spend $30 going to a movie with just by yourself or with one other person. So the market's changing. So but I'm glad to see the success of this film. It's a good movie.
Now let me ask you, my friend Luke, he goes by Hydro Collectibles. He's big into having like physical copies of DVDs or Blu-rays. You know, it's like a dying breed almost. They don't just make them anymore, you know, like albums, you know. It's just, you know, this generation or future generations, it's all digital. I am going to buy the physical copy of the Blu-ray disc of this because I just like, and actually because the Blu-ray disc, you can actually hold it obviously, and it's got pictures and you can read stuff. To me, I have a couple of Blu-rays. I still use them, but I mean, I'm not saying that I don't use digital, but for myself, I would rather buy the Blu-ray disc of that and just have that. What about yourself? Are you more digital or Blu-ray?
At this point, I'm more digital.
Okay.
But I agree with you. Like my biggest complaint is they shouldn't be charging as much as they do for digital.
Okay.
When the Blu-ray is the same cost.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like you're getting nothing, you know? Yeah. And so like, and I get it from their, you know, their profit. They're profiting. I get it. Yeah. But it's still frustrating. But like, I don't see myself buying physical copies anymore because it's
Yeah.
just so easier just to be like,
I hear you.
play,
Yeah.
and then I could put it on my iPad
Yeah.
or my phone, and it's everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And I wasn't like that, but yeah, I do like the Blu-ray, but man, just the convenience of everything. Ugh, I've definitely have fallen into that.
And this is going to be on Disney Plus eventually too.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so, I
Yeah.
would say this. So if I were to buy this, like Blu-ray, I would want like a nice, like, set. Because, different stores, they're gonna, they're gonna do different things,
Yeah,
right? Like,
that's a good point. Target always has nice ones, if I remember.
yeah, I would explore the options because I bet you there's gonna have some cool
That's a good
Blu-ray
point.
packaging.
Yeah, I'm not going to just rush out and get one, see which one has the nicest one. Maybe Best Buy may have something different too.
Maybe it will be
Amazon may have something.
Yeah, maybe it'll be the popcorn bucket.
Yeah, maybe. Cool. All right. Let's see what else we have here. So these are just the weekly top 10. I got this, I believe, from Go Collect. And these are just the weekly top 10 ending October 6th. These are the top sales. Number one was Beauty. A Slab, a 9.8, went for $115. And next one was X-Men. Near Mint Raw was $69, almost 70. I went, damn. These are just top sales. Obviously some of them probably were lower than this. And it goes like from 1 through 10. And another one that I want to talk about. Oh, number 9 is a Captain Marvel. It's like I think it's the first appearance of Death. And why that one stuck out is because they think that may be one of the characters in Agatha Harkness show on Netflix. I mean, on Disney Plus right now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The actress, I forgot her name. She plays like the lead co-host, the lead co-actress. Dang, I'm drawing a blank on her name. She's a well-known actress, but they think that she may be Death, and that's why that one popped up at number 9. But these are just like current top sales. Yeah, see if she is. They haven't announced that character yet, who she is exactly. And let me see what else do we have here. So this is Believe It or Not. I tried this a couple weeks ago. I just got 1 or 2 segments this time, but Believe It or Not, I thought this was pretty funny. The one on the left, man fined for pretending to be a ghost and shouting "woo." Wait a minute, not that funny. At people in a cemetery. I'm going, who the heck would do that? Just scaring people at a cemetery.
Nothing to do.
Nothing to do, bored. Start a YouTube channel, dude. And the one on the right, do you know who the mask on the right-hand side, you know who that is?
No.
It's a famous actor, and use
that's Halloween. I know
yeah. But the characters, the mask from Halloween, they use the character's mask on the right-hand side. It's a famous
William Shatner.
William Shatner. I was about to say.
I know this little trivia factoid.
Yeah. They just mentioned this on Instagram recently, and I thought I'm going to talk about that. So I thought it was pretty funny that they just use a cheap rubber mask to create an iconic, monster movie, character. So yeah, it was his face that they used for Halloween. I thought it was pretty funny. And let me see what else do I have. Up on Comics, Down on Comics. This is another new segment that I started a couple weeks ago. It could be on entertainment. It doesn't have to be just about comic books. One thing I like about comic books, and Rob, if you have an Up on Comics or Down on Comics, you can go after me. But what I like about Up on Comics, personally for myself, is ever since I started my YouTube adventure, it's been over 4 years now, believe it or not, I've met so many cool people in the comic book community, either through, social media, Instagram, like Ian and Dan De La Torre, all those guys. And, that's been, an upside that I never knew was coming, meeting other people who were into comic books as much as we are. And, we started our own panel on Comic-Con.
The community.
The community, yeah. So, that was an added surprise when I started doing more involved on social media, to comic books. But my Down on Comics, and I don't know why people at Comic-Cons do this. I think it's not fair, but a lot of artists, when you ask them to sign a book, if they know that it's going to CGC, they make you pay more. It's just either it's 10 or 20 bucks more, and it adds up if you have more than one book. I think that's just unfair. I mean, it's like you're punishing us just because we want to get a book graded, thinking that we're going to make a profit out of it. And a lot of times there's a lot of people who collect comic books who just want their books graded just to keep it, like a keepsake and not sell it. But there's like, wow, you're getting it graded. I'm going to charge you 20 or 30 bucks more. I think that's totally unfair.
How do you feel about like, because some people sign for free
Yeah.
and then some people charge like $5.
Yeah.
Some people, though, some big names charge a lot more than that. They could,
Yeah.
40, 50, right?
Yeah.
Depending on how do you feel about artists charging money for a
I
signature?
don't mind at all. If I want it, I mean, it's their signature. This is how they make a living. But if that same artist, 40, 50 bucks, or you're getting a CGC, it's going to be 60 bucks, 20 bucks more. It's like, dang, man, I'm not, why are you punishing me? It's because I want to get a book graded. That's what I think. It's just unfair, So, but one thing I learned when I went to CGC, when I went to Comic-Con, you tell the artist that you're going to get it graded, but you have to bring a witness. But I mean, I could have said I'm not getting it graded, and I just could have took the books to CGC and had them say, yeah, there was a witness there, because they weren't on top of things. CGC, nobody's going to see these videos, so they're not going to know. But
yeah,
but yeah, there's ways to work around it. So yeah, it's going to be. I don't know how many more books I'm going to get signed by artists. I may say no, I'm not getting it graded, and just take my chances at CGC.
Yeah, no, I'm more concerned with like how much they charge. Like even celebrities like Mark Hamill or your Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Right. Because they did photo ops, you mentioned earlier, when they do signatures too, it's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
Like I want it, but man, and those guys will charge in the hundreds for a signature.
Yeah. I mean, there's some that charge. I mean, Harrison Ford, I forgot how much in the thousands he charges for a signature. I was like, damn, man, and people are such big fans that they want it, but I wouldn't pay $1,000 for anybody's signature. I don't care who it is.
Yeah,
I wouldn't pay. The most I paid for, and I think nobody should go higher than him, was at the time Stan Lee. He was charging, but by the time I got his books, some of his books signed, they were $100 a signature.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind paying for that. But I don't think anybody should have been higher than Stan Lee.
Yeah, no, celebrities are kind of like in their own, like you got the comic creators, you got the Stan Lee and whatnot. But like celebrities, it's even way more. Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to look up right now. So San Francisco Fan Expo is happening in November, like around Thanksgiving weekend. And I'm just looking at some of the signatures. So Hayden Christensen, as we all know, right? Anakin.
Yeah.
His autograph is for just signing an 8x10, 175.
Wow.
And then it goes up to 225 for signing photos, trading cards, Funko, action figures, or posters. And then if you have him sign a helmet or a lightsaber or a large prop, it's $275.
Wow.
And then if you want to just do a photo op, it's $200.
Damn. I mean,
yeah. So I don't know.
People are paying for it, so they're always crowded. They're booth, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would do a photo op because you got that moment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, to each his own. If you got the money to spend, the money to burn,
Yeah, do it.
What did we buy this time? This is the part of the show where Rob doesn't say anything, and
I should get that popcorn bucket.
Yeah, did a popcorn button. There you go. I did pick up some books. I have really cut down on buying comic books. I hardly buy any comic books anymore. Advanced orders. I just stopped. I just figured it was time for me to stop, and I don't buy as much. I used to go to this company called Gmart. They're based in Chicago. The reason I used them is because they had 35% discount and free shipping, but I haven't used them for about 3 months now. But I bought one book at LA Comic-Con. Let me turn down the lighting here on this.
Just one?
Just one.
Wow.
Hang on for a second here. I'm going to turn down the reflection. You can still see me, right, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I turned down the lighting on my side, so there's not much of a reflection on here. Let me get rid of this here. Hang on for a second here.
Meanwhile, it looks like I'm in the dark.
Let me see
Oh my
here.
God.
Bear with me. Let me see if this is it. Here we go. Okay. So I bought this one, and I'm gonna take it out of the bag. This Alex Ross book is Princess Leia Star Wars. I really like this cover. So I got this one right here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a great cover.
Yeah, that's the only book that I bought at San Diego Comic. I mean,
I can't
at
hear
LA
you.
Comic-Con. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. We lost you for
All
a
right.
second. Yeah.
All right. I think I had the comic book over the microphone. So this is the one book that I bought right here. All right,
That's
and
it. Wow, I'm impressed that you got
Yeah.
a one book, and it's a modern Alex Ross.
I was just talking about Gmart. My final shipment came from them. They have one more book of mine there, but I don't know if I'm ever going to get it shipped to me. But one of my favorite books is Something Is Killing the Children. So I bought two. This is from, both of them are from issue number 38.
And look, it's right below my little tile. Something is killing the children.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And this is a foil cover. I don't know if you'll be able to see this too well, but I got this one right here.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And one of my favorite artists is Scotty Young. I mean, I don't, like every time he does these kids' drawings, I'm always like grabbing them. This is one of the Black Widow.
No, I like he has a style. It's recognizable. It's it's fun.
And my last one is Daredevil.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that looks good, dude.
Yeah. Speaking of Scotty Young, on his website, he's am I still there?
Yeah, you're here.
I touched the wrong button here. Here we go. Let me get this here. Okay. On his website, he's got two DC books that he's selling. One of them is actually it's that new series. What is it called? I forgot what the new series was called for Batman. Ultimate Batman.
The Absolute
Batman, Ultimate Batman. So he's got some 3 books that he's selling on his website under DC books. Scotty Young normally does indie books and Marvel books, but he's doing Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
So you're gonna get those, right? I'm thinking you should.
I'll see how much they cost, and they're only on his website, so they're not selling them like on a regular, advanced orders. I think that is our last slide. Yep, we are done for this week. Anything?
No, I will have stuff
next
week. I will, or whenever we do this next. The only thing I got is I started reading a book.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me see if I can hang on for a second here.
Oof. I don't know.
Sorry,
the light is really, really bad. There we go.
Right there.
Yeah, it's called Mistborn, and Sarah, Ernest told me about this.
Okay.
And I'm reading it, and I'm not really big into fantasy, but this is good.
Wow. That's a big book.
It's a book. Yeah. It's good though, man. So if you're ever thinking I want to jump into the world of fantasy,
okay,
this one's a good read. It's easy to read. It goes pretty quick. But there's a whole system of powers that is explained very well, actually, with a lot of clarity. But it's like a heist book. That's kind of the gist of it. There's a crew that they're gonna go do a heist, and it's so far so good. So I'll let you know more when it's in its own world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's its own universe. It's not like modern times. It's like a universe where there's a supreme overlord.
Okay.
And they're basically going to steal from him and possibly kill him.
Okay, nice. And what's it called again?
Mistborn.
Okay. And
you just started reading? It's fun. It's a good read. Yeah, Claire is also reading it too.
Oh wow.
And so we're doing this together. And so I know Serena is into Harry Potter.
Yes.
Right. She should check this book out.
Send me the
Like,
title and I'll mention it to her. See, but my daughter reads a lot, you know.
yeah, man.
So
Yeah, I think she would dig it. I think she would.
yeah, send me the title and I'll mention it to her, you know. So I think that's it for this week, guys. So we're gonna try to do this every week, hopefully, knock on wood, either Saturday or Sunday, 6 p.m. I can drag my cousin out of his family life. I'm the single guy in this relationship, so I can do it basically anytime. But I always appreciate you coming on with me, man. Always.
No, it's fun. You know,
Yeah.
this is, like I said, this is just hanging out with you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about work.
Yeah.
Or the things I got to grade. Like, we just had midterms
Yeah.
this week, so there's stuff I got to do. But
Midterms already.
this is
Dang.
this is a nice break
Yeah, cool.
from
So
the
we'll be
day-to-day
back
grind for sure.
hopefully next week with new exciting topics regarding comic books, movies, TV shows, any type of entertainment. And hopefully my cousin will have something to show. What did we buy this time, right?
I did buy something. I
Yeah.
didn't get it together for the show, but I've have it. We were gone at Disneyland, and then this week today I got busy doing work here at home, but I will have something. I promise you next time.
Until next time, everybody, like I always say, go out and buy a comic book and read it. Everybody take care and be safe. Bye.